to English school.
Yo!
Today is March 11th, and we're on pages 22 and 23 of your magazine. It's day one of our biography article. And this month, we're talking about Christopher Nolan, the mastermind behind movie magic.Yeah,
又到了我们今天人物传记的单元了。我们今天要介绍人呢，很厉害哦，重量级的。我们来看一下中文的标题，中文的标题叫做电影魔法背后的主谋。哇，听到主谋这个词，你会觉得说，哇，是不是很阴险呢？好，事实上后面告诉你说是克里斯多福诺兰。好，这位大导演他拍了非常非常多悬疑惊悚的片子，对不对？好，所以在后面讲到他是主谋，其实呢就是幕后推手的意思啦。在这边的话，你可以注意一下那个英文的标题，他说 Christopher Nolan, the mastermind behind movie magic， 有好多好多的 M， 对不对？在标题里面使用很多这种押头韵的情况，我们叫做 alliteration， 好，是一个非常好下标的方式哦。
So our subtitle in English is one of the greatest filmmakers of his time. And just like you translated it, let's look at the title one more time. We have the mastermind behind movie magic. You know the word movie. I know you know the word movie. So today, we're going to use the word film, not movie. Let's step up our English one more step. No more movies, only films. Let's hear our story. And when we come back, we got paragraph 1.
Christopher Nolan, the mastermind behind movie magic. Christopher Nolan is one of the most gifted directors in Hollywood. He is the genius behind classic films like Inception, Interstellar, and Dunkirk. From a young age, Nolan showed his talent and interest in filmmaking. At the age of 7, he borrowed his father's camera and started making short films with his toys. Nolan's background also gave him a unique view of life. As a child of an American mother and a British father, Nolan gained insights into both cultures. While he is now famous for directing blockbuster movies, Nolan started off small.After studying literature in college, Nolan began to direct short films. In 1998, his first feature, Following, was shot on a small budget. In order to save money on film reels, Nolan had each scene rehearsed many times. His major breakthrough came with Memento, a thriller about a man.who loses his short-term memory. In the early 2000s, Nolan directed more thrillers like Insomnia and The Prestige, both of which received positive reviews. It was his work on the Dark Knight trilogy, however, that brought him international fame and set him apart from other directors. In 2023,His success continued with his latest work, Oppenheimer, which broke box office records worldwide and became one of the highest-grossing films of the year.
All right, friends, we are starting paragraph 1 on pages 22 and 23. Don't forget your blue pen and highlighters right all over your magazine.You will remember better later. Christopher Nolan is one of the most gifted directors in Hollywood.
好，我们来看第一段的第一句话，他告诉你说 Christopher Nolan， 好，就是我们的主角，好，诺兰导演呢 is one of the most gifted directors in Hollywood。好，这里 directors 指的就是导演的意思。Gifted 就是非常非常有天赋、很有天分的。好，事实上他其实从小就非常喜欢，所以在这边这个地方 one of the most gifted directors， 请把 one of 跟后面 directors 的那个 s 圈起来，只要用了 one of， 后面一定会用复数的名词哦。
That's right. Let's look at the word gifted. We can also say talented. He is one of the most talented or gifted directors in Hollywood.And directors 有两个母音加 r， and 他们两个都发 er， directors。 Don't say director. That's wrong. Sentence 2. He is the genius behind classic films like Inception, Interstellar, and Dunkirk.
好，我们来看第二句话，我们就会知道一下说他有拍过哪些脍炙人口的作品。他说 He is the genius behind classic films. 老师刚刚最开始不是讲到说我们看到很多 movie， 大家都知道 movie 是电影，我们现在使用 film 这个字 classic films 就是那种经典的 timeless， 大家都会知道的好，这种经典电影像是 Inception 好，全面启动，可能各位都有看过跟梦境有关的 Interstellar 星际效应 and Dunkirk 还有敦刻尔克大行动。
And to think these are just some of his really good movies. This guy makes really, really good movies. I don't really, I like to watch movies, but I don't watch a lot of movies. But someone like Christopher Nolan, when he makes a movie, I pay attention. He always makes something at least interesting, and usually it's really good.
没错，老师他说呢，他会看电影，但是他不是那种看很多电影的人。那如果碰到 Christopher Nolan， 他有出了新一部的这个作品的时候，他一定会去注意，因为每次他拍片的话，好，绝对这个题材是很有趣的，甚至会发人深省，这样的感觉非常非常酷。
It will be special. That's right. From a young age, Nolan showed his talent and interest in filmmaking. We could say movie making, but we want to say filmmaking here. And filmmaking is one word.
所以要注意一下 filmmaking 它是一个字，不要把它分开来。这个地方的话，我们看这句，他说 from a young age， 好，从很小的时候开始呢 ，Nolan showed his talent。好 ，talent 这个字就是刚刚老师是讲 talented、gifted 这个东西，把那个 ed 拿掉 ，talent 就是才能，从小就展现他过人的才能了。And interest in filmmaking， 而且还展现出他对于这个电影的这种兴趣。
At the age of 7, or when he was 7 years old, he borrowed his father's camera and started making short films with his toys, which is really fun.
没错，你看他后面就讲了 ，at the age of 7， 在他7岁的时候呢 ，he borrowed， 他就把爸爸的这个 his father's camera 借来干嘛呢？ And started making short films with his toys， 用玩具就自己在拍摄这种短片了。好，他自己在制作这样的小的电影。
So borrow has 2 sentence patterns. We can borrow somebody's something. That's what we see in the story. Or we could also say borrow something from somebody. So 如果你有 borrow somebody's， 你不用用 from 的那个介系词。
没错，在这里的话，你有 borrow something from somebody 的用法，你可以 say borrow the camera from his father 也可以。
Nolan's background also gave him a unique view of life. So be careful. We always say a unique because that you and I 听起来像 Y-O-U, like YouTube video.
没错，所以这边的话要特别注意的是 unique 的，虽然 U 是母音。但是呢，这个 U 的它的声音的话，其实像 Y 一样的声音，所以它前面是不是 an。好，所以这边的话要特别注意。来，我们看这句话说 Nolan's background 这个字意思就是背景，他的成长背景其实还蛮特别的。Nolan's background also gave him a unique view of life。好，对，给他一个特别独特的这种人生观，看待事情的方式也不太一样。怎么个不一样法呢？后面告诉你咯。
As a child of an American mother and a British father, Nolan gained insights into both cultures. So he could understand the differences between American and British culture. And I'm not sure what Taiwanese think. Are American and British cultures very similar or very different? What do you think most Taiwanese think?
我觉得可能大部分台湾人会觉得说英美文化应该差不多吧。
Yeah, I agree.
对，但是事实上我会发现有一个很著名的例子。如果说今天你的同事有身上有什么受伤啦或怎么样，美国人一定会说，你怎么啦？会去关心。但英国人就会假装没有看到，因为他觉得那是你的私事，怕你问了之后会觉得说，你要讲一些你不想跟我分享的事情。
I feel like Taiwanese are right in the middle. Some Taiwanese would pretend not to see, and some people are like, 你干嘛啦？
你怎么了？你头怎么了？对，怎么对？
你干嘛Nolan？
没有错，没有错。
I'm not sure where Taiwanese are right in the middle there because some Taiwanese won't want to make you feel embarrassed. Some Taiwanese would be like, yo.
没错，你就看到台湾人就是介于英美文化之间的那种哈。所以在这边的话，我们看到这句话说 ，As a child of American mother， 他妈妈是美国人，爸爸呢是英国人。Nolan gained his insights into both cultures。这个 insights 就是一个独到精辟的见解，你对于事物有一个独到的一种观察，这时候可以用 insights。好，在这边的话，后面会接 into something into both cultures， 就是对这个文化两个不同的文化有独特的一些观察。
Pick up your blue pen and look at the word culture， 那个中间的 TUR， it often has that ch sound. We will see that in paragraph 2. Underline TUR, write CH. And let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be reading paragraph 2. Hey everyone, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on the biography article. It's day 1, and we're talking about the world-famous filmmaker, Christopher Nolan. Antony, dude, like, what's your favorite Christopher Nolan movie? Can you pick one?
Inception.
Ooh, okay. Is it an easy pick for you?
No, it's not easy at all.
This dude makes some seriously good movies. If you have never seen his movies before, like Inception is incredible.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight is so good. Like, I was shocked that I watched a superhero movie that was as good as The Dark Knight. And then the next movie is The Dark Knight Rises. And then he makes Interstellar. I mean, what is it, from 2008 to 2014? Every one of his movies was like the best movie I had ever seen.
Wow.
I'm not joking.
没错，没错，其实真的好厉害哦。所以你会发现到说，他很多脍炙人口的，不只是他拍得很好，就是连他影评人呢都觉得说很赞，然后呢又卖座又叫好，非常非常厉害的作品。
It's always interesting. Even like his early movie, Memento in 2000, that wasn't the best movie, but it was very, very memorable, very unique.
老师刚刚讲的是2000年拍的这个记忆拼图 Memento.
Okay, let's start paragraph 2. While he is now famous for directing blockbuster movies or blockbuster films, Nolan started off small. So he started making not super famous movies, of course.
没错，所以我们看到这一段的第一句话，他说 While he is now famous for directing blockbuster movies， 这边的话，请帮我把这个 while 圈起来。当你提到 while 的时候，十之八九都在讲两件事情，而且是有一种对比感的感觉。他说，虽然呢，他现在指导卖座巨片而闻名嘛 ，directing blockbuster movies。我们刚刚前面段听到 director， 对不对？One of the most important directors。好，在这边的话是 directing 是动词加 VING 的用法。那它这边用到了一个东西叫做 blockbuster。blockbuster 如果是小写的话，指的是卖座的片子。如果说今天你看到它大写的时候，这可能你们有年纪稍微长一点的话，会知道百事达DVD 的这个量贩店百事达，好，它的话也是叫 blockbuster。
You can ask your teacher what that is.
没错。
Okay, so a blockbuster movie is a very popular movie. So a block, B-L-O-C-K, is a city square made of 4 sidewalks. You have north, south, east, and west. And when you bust something, you break it. And it's actually named after a bomb in World War II that was so big it would blow up a city block.
所以说今天 blockbuster 这个 buster 这个 bust 就是爆炸的意思。事实上，它是在那个2次大战的时候有一种特别的这种炸弹，它就是会这样把整个城市炸掉。所以在这边的话，用 blockbuster 炸掉整个这个街区那种感觉，就觉得它的威力非常强大。
That's right. And so a long time ago, you couldn't go online to buy your tickets. You had to go to the movie theater and wait in line to buy tickets. In 1975, there's this shark movie called Jaws, and it was so popular that people lined up for hours, and they couldn't buy tickets. So it was very hard to walk close to the movie theater. It busted the block. Jaws was the first blockbuster movie.
啊，所以说在1975年的时候，出现了一个非常脍炙人口的好片，叫做《大白鲨》，是史蒂芬·史皮伯大导演所演。
Still a good movie.
很好看哦，非常好看。当时的时候，因为大家都只能到电影院去看戏嘛，所以那个买电影票的那个队伍排得很长，然后几乎要去到那个戏院都很难，因为外面围了一圈一圈的人，整个都是瘫痪的状态，就很像是被炸弹炸过一样。
Okay, next sentence. After studying literature in college, Nolan began to direct short films. So literature, 也有那个 TUR that we saw at the end of paragraph 1. Write CH and draw an arrow to culture. So we know culture and literature have those ch sounds.
没错，所以这边这句话里面有出现 literature 文学这个 ch 的那个结尾，好，它是用 ch 的发音去发的，就跟我们第一段后面那个 culture 的那个 ch 是一样的发音，好，特别把它圈起来，做个箭号，把它连在一起。我们来看这句话，他说了 ，After studying literature in college， 好，在这个大学的时候学的是文学，对不对？然后呢 ，Nolan began to direct short films。开始呢，就是指导了一些短片，好像小时候7岁的时候，在开始拿这个有没有各式各样的那种玩具去拍片一样，他开始先拍短片为主。
In 1998, his first feature, T-U-R, feature following was shot on a small budget, so they didn't have a lot of money.
没错，所以他告诉你说了，在1998年的时候呢 ，his first feature， 好，这个 feature 的话就是正常的这种正片，好，就比较不是短片而已，是正片，好，差不多，我就要去查了一下，大概是1小时多一点点，好，那通常来讲是90分钟以上的片子才会变成用 feature 这个字来表达。然后这部片子呢叫做跟踪 following， 你会注意到这个跟踪这个片名呢，它用斜体字的方式告诉你说，好，它是一部电影作品啊，或是文学作品，都可以用这种方式表达。Was shot on a small budget， 它是用非常有限的预算去拍的。我后来去查了一下，你知道多少钱吗？6000块美金。
That's and some famous movies have been made for less. It's how you use your money. It's important.
没错，但是他赚了12万，所以很厉害 ，CP 值很高哦。
In order to save money on film reels, Nolan had each scene rehearsed. That means practiced many times.
好，我们来看下一句话，他说 ，In order to save money on film reels， 这个 film reels 就是那种电影的这种胶卷，
真的很久以前，
很久以前，他用电影胶卷去拍的嘛。如果说 save money on something， 就是去省后面这个东西的钱，好，为了要去省钱，好，为了要去节省电影这种胶卷的这种成本呢，后来他怎么做 ？Nolan had each scene rehearsed many times， 他就把很多的场景一次再一次的不断排演，希望能够一次就好。不然的话，就是胶卷一直烧，钱就没了。
Practice makes perfect.
没错。
His major breakthrough came with Memento, a thriller about a man who loses his short-term memory.
好，接下来我们看这边咯，他就告诉你说了 ，his major breakthrough 就是那种重大的突破。好 ，major breakthrough came with Memento。好 ，Memento 的话就是我们讲的记忆拼图，2000年的这部作品。Thriller 就是惊悚片 ，about a man who loses his short-term memory。他呢是在讲到一个人，他失去了短期记忆，他的记忆只有10分钟。我记得在那个片子里头，有一个人对着他的这个喝的啤酒吐了一口口水，10分钟后把这个啤酒给他，他还是照常的喝着啤酒，去证明说他真的是只有10分钟的记忆。
All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we got paragraph 3. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We are on pages 22 and 23. Let's start paragraph 3. In the early 2000s, Nolan directed more thrillers, exciting movies like Insomnia and The Prestige, both of which received positive reviews.
好，我们来看这一段的第一句话哦。他说 ，In the early 2000s， 在2000年代的初期呢。Nolan directed more thrillers, 老师刚刚讲到这种惊悚片，就是非常非常精彩刺激的 ，right？ Like Insomnia 的话，中文叫做针锋相对啊。另外一部呢是 The Prestige。好，这边的话你会注意到这两个作品都会有斜体字来表达，都是电影的名称。然后逗号后面写说 both of which， 这边用 which 是因为中间没有连接词，所以它用这种形容词子句的方式去表达 both of which received positive reviews， 都颇获好评 receive positive reviews。Reviews 这个字的意思就是大家对于这个电影的评论，你常常会看到什么 movie reviews， 或者甚至很多餐厅上有 online reviews， 大家对它的评价如何，都用 review 这个字来表达大家对它的意见。
It was his work on the Dark Knight trilogy, however, that brought him international fame and set him apart from other directors. Now, a trilogy means a 3-part movie, part 1, part 2, part 3. And part 2 and part 3 were especially good movies. I didn't really like the first Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is a nickname for Batman.
没错 The Dark Knight 就是这个黑暗骑士，也就是我们说的蝙蝠侠。在这边这个地方的话，这个句子我希望你把 it was 跟后面 however 后面那个 that 先把它画起来。It was 跟 that 有点像是那个引号的感觉，是要特别强调这里面的东西。他说 It was his work on the Dark Knight trilogy， 就是他的这个黑暗骑士3部曲这个作品怎么样呢？ However, that brought him international fame， 让他享誉国际。所以在这里的话会特别去强调，这是这部作品让他打开了知名度。所以他会用 it was 跟 that 去表达这个强调的感觉。老师刚刚提到 trilogy 就是一个3部曲 part 1, part 2, part 3， 尤其后面2部特别拍得特别好。
Okay, just a few seconds left. In 2023, his success continued with his latest work, Oppenheimer, which broke box office records worldwide and became one of the highest grossing films of the year. It made a lot of money.Yeah,
没错。好，最后告诉你说，在2023年的时候呢，他的这个 his success continued， 他呢更进一步的把他最新的一个作品，就在去年嘛，对不对？叫做《奥本海默》，继续获得了很大的成功 ，which broke box office records worldwide， 他打破全国票房纪录，好，变成了怎么样 ？and became one of the highest grossing films of the year， 成为当年度获利最高的一个电影。
All right, we're out of time for today, but we'll be back with day 2 with lots of really fun stories. And until then, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.